Welcome to Solo TV 84. I'm your gracious host, Trendsetter. The Great Resignation, part 2 of the series. Today we're going to get into some statistics because I know some of you guys like numbers because we have a lot of logical people who watch my content. But we're also going to get into some spiritual, esoteric content as well, okay? So the first part, I talked about what the Great Resignation is, what it entails, why people are leaving or resigning the workforce en masse. And this is not just happening in the USA, okay? This is happening all over the world in different places as well. And so let's take a look here as why people are leaving. Now, here's some other reasons that I didn't cite in the first video. So better compensation, of course, is one. Cited by 53% of the respondents, more pay enables people to do things that they love outside of work. Better work-to-life balance. This is something that I did mention. A lot of people think about it. If you have to commute to your job and your commute is on average, 30 minutes plus, so maybe you have to drive an hour to work one way, that's 2 hours each way. You know what I'm saying? So that's 10 hours of commuting. That can cause a lot of stress. And let's not forget the fact that some of you and some of us, not myself included, but some people have children that you have to drop off at schools or daycare and babysitters and whatnot. And so over 40% of U.S. workers are actively searching for a new job right now or plan to soon, according to a new survey report from the Society for Humane Resource Management. That's twice the rate in 2019. And it wouldn't surprise me now after the mandate, and we're going to get into that more because I did allude to that a lot in the first video, but we're going to get a little deeper into that. It wouldn't surprise me if it's even more so, okay? Almost half of U.S. executives said that in the past 6 months, the organization has seen higher or much higher turnover than usual. And once again, I spoke about that regarding Amazon noticing an increase of people leaving, even though they think that increasing their wage to $15 or so, which is for some of them people is a 10% increase, which is not really a lot if you're talking about anywhere from 79 cents to $1, which equates to about 20 to $30 a week or so, depending on where they are already starting salary rise. So don't quote me on those numbers. But that's not really a lot, okay? Better benefits. Now that dealing with these issues of the 19, and once again, I do have to speak in code because YouTube likes to censor. So I think you know what I mean by the 19. A lot of people work for companies where the healthcare benefits are trash. Let's just be honest. Unless you're a federal worker, because federal workers on average do get better benefits, especially those congressmen and congresswomen who are not required to take the jab. They have the best benefits in the United States of America. Make no mistake. Desire to make a career change, okay? So here's some numbers. And this article is by Better Workplaces, Better World. And I think this is a great article. And I will link it in the description, okay? Now, I also decided to look at Reddit. One of the big things I mentioned in the first part is, and not really got into it, but I did mention it in the first part, is the remote working or people who work remotely. It has completely changed the game. Being remote, this is a guy on Reddit by the name of Me Then Beer. That's a funny name. Being remote has been the best part of this whole ordeal for me. Cuts 80 minutes of driving each day on an exceptionally dangerous road for the area, saves a ton on fuel, get to spend breaks and lunch with the fam, immediately at work in the morning, immediately at home at night, less time than my job can take from my life. The benefits are endless, okay? Unfortunately, despite our great productivity and gains over the last year, dedicated and extremely hard work with minimal issues company-wide, our ELT does not care. The most it can offer is a natural collaboration as a reason. So for a lot of people who have worked remotely, the benefits have been fantastic. And statistically, the stats show that overall employees are far happier than they are working remotely than they are working at the office, okay? Now, 10,000 employees were surveyed by the Becker and Friedman Institute for Economics at the University of Chicago and said they thought they were just as productive working from home compared to the office. In fact, 30% of those respondents told researchers they were more productive and engaged working from home. The same survey team calculated that commuting time was reduced by 62.4 million hours per day. Whew. With aggregate time savings of over 9 billion hours starting from the middle of March to the middle of September 2020. Okay, now let's take a look at the remote statistics here. And I know there's some other ones. And the Future of Work report by Upwork found that 22.5% of survey managers said productivity had decreased compared to 32.3% of hiring managers that said productivity has increased since their employees started working from home in 2020. Their performance was boosted by 22% when employees were able to work from home, a study by Stanford found. Mercer, an HR workplace benefits consulting surveyed 800 employees. 94% of these employees stated that the work productivity was the same or higher since employees started working from home. Now, why are remote workers more productive? Remote workers are more productive because they're not dealing with the stress of a commute, fewer distractions, more time for family, exercise, a higher quality of life, and better overall work-to-life balance. And I will say, part of that less distractions or fewer distractions, I was actually talking to a buddy of mine, and he says you don't have to deal with the office politics. You know, the go along to get along type politics, meaning that people gossiping about you or, you know, people trying to gain favor with a boss here and there, or people who will try to snitch on you. Because when you're working from home, for the most part, nobody can really oversee you besides, you know, the company directly if they keep, you know, stats on work productivity, which a lot of companies do. Now, there are some people who work for companies that they can kind of get away with, you know, how they do things, you know, longer lunch breaks and such. Cough, cough, right? NOAA 19. A survey report conducted by Owl Lab suggests that remote workers are happier and stay in their jobs longer. They also found that workers who are working at home report being 22% happier than workers who also work in an on-site office. The remote workers report having less stress, more focus, and a better work-to-life balance. The remote workers also worked over 40 hours a week, 43% more compared to workers that never worked remotely. Okay? So productivity, for the most part, when you look at these statistics, has increased. And a lot of companies, too, have made record profits. If you talk to companies like Amazon, they've made record profits, right? If you talk to companies even like Costco, they've made record profits, you know, and because of they've been able to implement new services, delivery services, or expand on them. And a lot of people have been taking advantage of them, and that has allowed people or companies more so to gain extra revenue. Now, let's take a look at another reason, and I talked about this in the first part, but why the Great Resignation is occurring. So, Sleepy Joe, as I call him here, has implemented a mandate for the jab. Now, if you're a federal employee, unless you work for the post office, you're exempt, or for religious purposes, you are mandated to take the jab. And this has caused a lot of stress for people, including some of you guys who watch my channel. And I know some people have taken it because, you know, you have no choice. If you don't take it, then you lose your job. And let me just first say this. I do not judge anybody who has taken it. I understand you do what you have to do. I know a lot of people that work for the government, and I understand you have to do what you have to do. For those who don't have to take it or don't want to, let me just say this. I did research this, and I watched a couple videos where lawyers gave their input, as well as read some articles. And they said that this does violate human rights, as well as is against the Constitution. Okay? Now, these aren't my words. These are things that I researched from actual lawyers saying this, that this can't be mandated due to human rights violation and the Constitution. And I will link those videos in the description so you can research them yourself. To me, when you start implementing this, right? And how are they going to follow up on this? Because it's not just for federal workers, but also for people who work at private companies where they have 100 or more employees. And let's be honest, a lot of us work for companies that probably have 100 or more employees. Well, I used to work for a company actually that had less than 20 employees. But here's the thing. The reality is that they're going to try to have this enforced by, OSHA. And basically what that means is then the Occupational Safety and Health Administration is going to make it where if you are not, if you're not jabbed up, that you're going to have to get tested on a weekly basis. Okay. And so this has caused a lot of stress for people. A lot of people don't want to do this. And let me just say this, that if you are a person who believes in the Lord Jesus Christ, I will keep you in my prayer. And if you're not a person who believes in God, but you don't believe in the jab, I will keep you in my prayer as well. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that this will get overturned. And I believe that it'll get overturned because at the end of the day, constitutionally, this is not right. And as I said, this is not coming from my own words, but this is coming from lawyers that I've researched. Okay? And so here's what, when will it be overturned? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. Now, for people who work remotely, do you think that you are exempted from this? No, you're not. Because if you work for a company that has over 100 employees, then you are still required to take this. Now, this sounds asinine, right? That you have to take a jab when you're not even working at a corporate building or you're working at an office amongst other people, but you're working from home. And let's be honest, some of us who work from home, or most people work from home, you probably don't even, when you wake up, you smelling dusty, musty, and crusty because you ain't take a shower. You probably still in your pajamas. You feel me? But imagine now, you have to take this, and if you don't take it, you're subjected to the same consequences as somebody, who, basically what I'm saying is if you work remotely, you're subjected to the same rules and regulations as somebody who works at an office. So people who work remotely and think, oh, well, I work from home, so I don't have to worry about it. Well, if your employer has 100 or more employees, you are subjected to this as well. Okay? This is one of the reasons why I talk about cryptocurrency so much. I truly believe that next year in 2022, you're going to see more cryptocurrency millionaires on this earth than you will ever see. And you will also see a lot of billionaires. And for those who are interested in learning more about cryptocurrency, I do offer a course that'll show you how to buy it, how to research it, how to transfer it to your cold storage Trezor wallet, as well as Nano wallet. You can get one or either or, as well as interviews with my mentors, a glossary and history of cryptocurrencies, how to research potential coins, etc. I highly recommend that you look into it. Gold and silver is something that I'm personally looking at more myself, because I do believe that gold and silver will have huge returns by the end of the year, beginning of next year. I really believe that, and I know that gold and silver has been talked about a lot by various YouTubers, and I'm really looking into that, right? And so let's take a look at the crypto market today. It's bouncing up here a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I think what's going to happen in at the end of this month is we're going to see more sideways action and probably some more dips. However, I think that with what Solana kind of has started, and Solana is a crypto right here that went up to $214.49 about a week ago. I think that there's certain coins that you're going to see that are going to, dip or correct, primarily Bitcoin. But I think that you're going to see certain coins that are going to rise. I think ADA is going to continue to rise upwards to a little over $3. I also think that Dogecoin is going to rise. Ethereum, amongst others. These are just my and I'm talking about the short term, because I do see a dip, a potential dip, which if you follow the 4-year cycle, it's not unusual for cryptos to dip October to about November-ish, and then once November comes, it starts to do a reversal where it goes up, right? And once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. This is just my opinion based off of research and based off of being in the crypto market for 4 years. I think that Bitcoin is probably going to do a sharp dip or correction. I don't even want to say it's a correction, because I feel like it's already corrected many, many times. In my opinion, we should be at 80,000 right now, to be honest, for Bitcoin. But I think you're going to see some altcoins that are going to remain steady while Bitcoin continues to dip. So even though it's doing well, you're going to see that dipping. And historically, what I'm saying is, if you follow the 4-year charts, I'm not off, okay? But you're going to see a decline. And then I believe that November, and I don't have an exact date, but November, you're going to start seeing an uptrend in the market. And that's just my opinion. So I'm just going to hold steady, and I'm going to buy the dip and whatnot. And, no matter what happens, I do believe that we're going to see a bull run. However, I think this run is going to really, really be amazing. In January of 2022 and February even, it's going to go into February, where you're going to see all-time highs. And it's going to be a lot of people that are going to become thousandaires, millionaires, and billionaires. Okay? But there will be a dip. I do believe that. At the end of the day, when you look at this, to me, if this jab works, right, there's still people who got the jab and they're still getting the 19 again. You know what I mean? You've heard of celebrities that got it. I know of people personally who've gotten the jab and then they still got it again, right? Now, I do believe in natural immunity. That has been scientifically proven to exist. And now imagine them telling you, well, forget your natural immunity. You're going to have to take this jab. Typically, and this is facts, on average, a jab is tested 2 to 4 years minimum, clinical testing. This was tested 6 to 9 months at best. And what they're not telling you, what they're not really reporting, is the people that are still getting sick, the people that are still dying. That's facts, right? And so I think that this is an agenda. Now, some people are saying it's the mark of the beast. I don't believe it's the mark of the beast. What I think this is this is a test. This is a precursor, so to speak, to see how many people are willing to comply in the future. I don't think this is the mark of the beast. I think this is a precursor to see how many people will comply. Because what they want you to do is they want you to become desensitized, and they want to put fear in you. And by putting fear in you, you're going to be more susceptible to take it, because who wants to lose their job, their livelihood, your ability to provide for your friends or family, your ability to eat, buy, sell, and trade? So I don't think it's the mark of the beast. I think the jab is a precursor to it. And when you look at this agenda, where it is a mandate by Sleepy Joe, you are starting to see that what's going on is this is about control. This is about control. This is to control you, to enslave you. You already have a lot of employers that are treating their employees harshly. We established that in part 1, right? Where those folks worked at Burger King. They had the mask on. It's about 100 degrees, and there's no air conditioning. Now, once again, I don't care if you work at Burger King or if you work at a schwanky office in the middle of your city. You know what I mean? There should be a humane conditions that you have the ability to do your job as best as possible, as great as possible. And when I look at this, where now it's mandated that even if you work from home, that you need to take the jab, and this jab, there hasn't been tested long enough. Basically, we're lab rats. And I know some people are going to be offended by that. And once again, I'm not judging you as an individual who has taken it. I'm not judging you. I understand you got to do what you got to do. But I'm talking about the powers that be, Sleepy Joe and them, that want you to take it. It's an agenda. It's an agenda for control. It's an agenda for socialism, communism, to make you reliant on those powers that be and strip away your rights as a human being. Anyway, with that being said, my name is Solomon Jones. I will keep you guys in my prayers. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the world. And I'm out. Peace.